Welcome to Log Furniture How To, the most all-inclusive site on the net for log and rustic furniture, fixtures, and decor. That's logfurniturehow2.com. And you're watching Juan Carpentry. Colorado grown, Colorado crafted. First, we're going to start off by making sure we got square edges and 90-degree corners. So I'm just using my framing square to measure all those and draw my lines, get them all nice and perfect. Now that we've got our lines drawn, we're going to start carving out the square. Make sure you wear your face mask and some hearing protection because it is loud and obviously there's a lot of sparks flying around. Go slow when you start carving out the line, that way you have a guide. Then you can pick up your speed a little bit as you get a groove going. You could also possibly set up a table saw to do this. Now we're going to start measuring for the edge. I made the table an inch wider on all sides, so 2 inches wider, so that I could have an inch lip. Actually, it's about 1.25 inches because right now we're gonna start by folding in 1/4 inch of the edge, just so we don't have a sharp edge on the bottom when you pick up the table to carry it around. So here I'm cutting out the corners. We're basically just making them like a box. If you ever have a cardboard box that's not in box form, it's just flat, you'll see that it kind of looks a lot like this. Now we're going to start folding in the edge. Again, this is so that you don't cut yourself when you pick up the table. So I'm using the square now. I've clamped it to the bench and I'm using it as a straight edge, I guess, to pound against with the hammer. This is all forged by hand. You want to get a nice good crease on it. Now you'll take your clamps off and flip it over and finish knocking down that edge. And get it real nice and flat. Then you're going to go ahead and just repeat that step on all 4 sides. Your wrist will get tired. Alright, now we're just going to smooth out all those bends. And now we're going to get ready to fold down the sides. And you're going to do the same exact thing as you did for the lip, except you're not going to fold it all the way over. You're just going to bend it at a 90-degree and you're going to leave it there. And be patient, it's going to take a lot of hits to get it there. And again, repeat that on all 4 steps. Now we're over here at Mitchell Dillman's place, and Mitchell's a welder, so I asked him to weld up my corners for me. You don't have to weld up your corners, I just did it because I think it'll be a little bit slicker and nobody will be able to cut themselves on the rough edge. So Mitch is doing a pretty sweet little bead. First he hits the corners to hold them still. And then he gets the rest of the full edge. Now back in my shop, I'm going to grind them all down nice and smooth. We're going to repeat this step on all 4 corners. Careful you don't grind too much off or you might end up with a hole. Now we're going to go ahead and polish. This is a reclaimed steel that I got from an old warehouse, so it is pretty rusty. It's got a lot of grime and dirt on it, so I'm going to use a wire brush with a drill to clean it all off. I'm just going to get all the rough stuff off. Now I'm going to use a de-ruster, a liquid de-ruster, and just wipe it down with a rag. Next step is to paint it. I chose rusty red. I was hoping to look a little bit more rusty than this, but that's okay, it looks pretty good. I like this red, it's a good color. Now we're going to glue it to the table. You'll see that I'm making some big spots and some little spots, and when I set the table on there it's going to squish out real nice and fill in. Take good hold of everything. I used a multi-surface caulk that'll hold it to the steel and to the wood. And now we see our finished product. a nice little side table, a nice steel top on top.